hey kid, wanna watch a cool movie? It's got explosions and monsters and mutants, but also there's like this weird family, like, I don't know who's related. I'm so confused.
That sounds great. That sounds awesome.
There's also a boat,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's cool too.
but
Yeah.
dude, a boat.
All right. Okay.
Wait till you see this boat. It's really cool. I mean, it's a really cool boat.
You ready to talk some movies, Brennan?
Yeah, okay.
Well, let's go! Corrupted youth! Corrupted youth! Corrupted youth! Corrupted youth!
Hi, welcome to the Corrupted Youth Podcast. I'm Dan.
I'm Brennan.
We are still a father and son duo that explores the latest blockbusters, classic genre films, and the schlockiest of golden age VHS rental store flicks in spoiler heavy fashion. We've been doing it now 8 years.
8 years to the day. Well, not to the day, but to
No.
the month.
To the month. It was more like back on the 17th, back when, we would actually do a podcast at a decent time. And
In the middle of the month and
not try to cram
not
it in.
right at the end. Yeah.
So, yeah, you're probably listening to this in February. That's okay. So, yeah, I guess just a note here that we're gonna be jumping ship from Meta, and so the Dongle Den is eventually going to close down, which is sad news. I just liked Facebook for the Dongle Den.
Yeah, but they're harvesting all of our dongle data.
Yeah, we don't want that. Plus, Zuckerberg's a real asshole.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave that in.
Yeah.
So if I mysteriously disappear,
It's because Mark Zuckerberg was secretly a dongle this whole time.
and he got mad that I called him an a-hole,
Exactly.
and then he had me killed.
Exactly.
I mean, it only makes sense.
It's only logical.
That's true. But other than that, hey, what are we covering, Brennan?
We are covering, or I guess we can't really have like a drum roll or anything. Infra-Man. Yay.
Also known as Super Infra-Man.
Super Infra-Man, yeah.
Or the Super Infra-Man. Doesn't really matter.
Nope.
Infra-Man.
There's only one Infra-Man. Everyone knows who you're talking about.
That's except for people who don't know who Infra-Man is.
Yeah, well, they're lame. You shouldn't talk to them anyway, so.
That is true. But yeah, this was your pick.
Of course, yeah. I'd seen this movie years back with you. I mean, so young that this was a lot like a first viewing for me again. I'd only kind of remembered bits and pieces, but all I knew, great tokusatsu, great martial arts, lots of explosions.
It's a fun one.
Yeah.
That's not me spoiling anything right away. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen this. It's probably like my fourth time watching it, and I don't know, since the first time I watched it with you.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just keep going back to it.
Yeah.
Because it's
hard to resist.
It really is. And every time I have a moment where I go, oh, was this a good idea? Why am I into this? And then by the end, I'm like, yeah!
Yeah. Then you just forget about anything that was ever bad in the whole movie.
That's right. So yeah, definitely not first time viewings for us. And you want to go over the letterboxed info? Quit bumping your microphone.
Shut up.
Elder abuse.
All right, this is the
bump it again.
Shut up. All right, this is the letterboxed description here. The surface of the earth is under attack. Thousands of people are killed in this unprovoked attack. The cause, Princess Dragon Mom and her army of monsters have decided to invade. Dragon Mom is an alien whose race has been hiding under us for centuries, waiting to attack at the time is right. Whoa, there's like a waiting to attack at the time is right. That's what they have on Letterboxd. Don't come at me. A doctor has been preparing for something like this, apparently, and turns to his assistant, Rama. My God, why is there so many typos in here? Oh my God, Rama. Okay, so anyway, Rama gets turned into Infra-Man, and now Infra-Man must defeat Princess Dragon Mom. Um, yeah,
Who knows how accurate that is?
yeah. Wow, that was really hard to read. That was way too hard to read.
Ooh, hey, guess what? There's also a trailer.
Ooh.
Enjoy this 1975 goodness.
Who dares to battle the deadliest creatures of the universe? Watch out, because nothing can stop Infra-Man. He's 6 million years beyond bionics, beyond the time barrier, beyond your wildest imagination. The ultimate adventure with the ultimate superhero. An explosion of excitement with Infra-Man.
Man, I sure do miss when gas prices were really high like that back in the 70s.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I'm as old as this movie. Depending on when it came out. It probably came out before my birthday, which is towards the end of the year. So there's that. But at this point, it doesn't matter. I guess I'm just 50 now.
You're Infra-Man. That's what you are.
Oh, yeah. So I take it with the Letterboxd info, you didn't want to go over all the actors and director and all that.
Oh, yeah.
You
I
didn't-
forgot that we do that.
Oh, you didn't want to stumble over a bunch of Chinese names?
No, not particularly.
I'll forgive you this time. I'll let it slide. This was a Shaw Brothers production, and it is kind of unusual that a tokusatsu movie would be made in China.
Mm-hmm.
And as you brought up earlier, because we were discussing this, and it is the first superhero movie to be made in China.
Mm-hmm. Very exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, I just said a word, but tokusatsu, if you didn't listen to our previous episode, which is also a non-Japanese tokusatsu movie, it's just giant monster stuff,
Yeah.
guys in suits.
Guys in big rubber suits,
Yeah.
and they fight each other.
Yeah, and it's
generally what it is.
yes, it came from Japan.
Mm-hmm.
They made the art of it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this movie is definitely tokusatsu.
It is, but it's also very Shaw Brothers too.
Mm.
It's got some really good kung fu action in it.
Oh yeah. The choreography is really good. I think the only thing kind of holding it back was just the costumes.
Yeah, you could tell, but even still, some of the more kind of rubber suits and stuff, where they were still doing some moves.
Mm-hmm. Good wire work too involved.
Oh yeah, people.
Lots of
you want
fun.
to see people fly all over the place.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just a little bit of backstory on it.
Oh, also apparently the first movie in China to be advertised with a hot air balloon. So there you go on that too.
Also, one of Roger Ebert's. He liked this movie. Back when it came out, he gave it 2.5 stars. And then over 20 years later, he ended up giving it an extra half star because he said something to the effect of a month hadn't gone by since he first watched it that he didn't think about it, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But I guess that's kind of how this movie is, though. It'll just kind of stick with you.
Yeah.
Even if you just watch it once, you'll be thinking about it.
Uh-huh.
Because it is visually interesting.
Very
it's-
visually interesting.
It's got a lot of interesting. Keep saying interesting.
Mhm.
It's got a lot of cool looking stuff in it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, great set design, great costume design. Action sequences are so fun to watch. Yeah. Even the background characters, just everything going on, the sets.
But man, you want something that it's an hour and a half, clip, clip, clip. There's only one boring part in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so brief.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter.
It's not even boring.
It's just a moment for the action to settle down a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, well, we got to take a break. And then it just gets back into
And then
it.
they just can't help themselves.
Yeah.
Ah, we need more pyrotechnics on set.
We got to start making these guys explode.
Yeah.
But because of the action, I mean, I guess there's probably not a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah, it's pretty cut and dry in terms
It's
of plot.
it's very simple.
Yeah.
I mean, well, kind of yes and no.
Yeah.
It's not simple in the aspect of it's always the best to follow because sometimes things just happen.
Yeah.
And who knows? It could just be because we watched an English dub.
True.
And we also watched, it was a rip of a VHS tape. So probably not the best. We're not getting like Criterion Collection style Infra-Man here.
Yeah, yeah. I need that though. Actually, now that you've said that, I need that.
Would be pretty great.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm sure for all you physical media fans out there, you probably know all the different cuts and all the different.
All the different releases.
Yeah.
Well, did you know about the UK release back in 2002?
No.
Yeah, no.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that though.
Yeah,
I mean,
nerd.
we were just doing it quick and dirty today. We were like,
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, let's watch it on YouTube. I was like, I'm not giving YouTube $2 for this.
No way. Oh, I got a movie on YouTube once. I rented a movie once on YouTube. I rented Fury, that tank movie.
Oh,
I was like, I
yeah.
really want to watch this. Oh, this is the cheapest way to watch it? Yeah, I'll rent it. It streamed in like 240p. It was
What?
like I was watching it on like a DS. Like it was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever seen. And I was like, well, I guess I'll just rent it somewhere else.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, so I wouldn't recommend. We probably got better quality not renting it through YouTube.
I mean, that's questionable.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not the first time we've done that.
Yeah.
And honestly, having seen it in the past, my brain just unpixelated everything.
I mean, we watched Stalker on YouTube.
I know. Speaking of a movie that went to the Criterion
Yeah.
Collection.
Yeah, I need to buy that. Ooh.
Yeah, because it looks gorgeous, by the way.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw their announcement trailer of it. Ooh, so good.
Yeah, we watched it on YouTube for our first time because that was the only place you could find it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was not, we did cover that on an episode, but we watched a better version of it then.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it still looked good, grainy and
There's
crappy.
something kind of nice. And honestly, with this movie too, I don't know. I think that like a movie like Infra-Man doesn't do that bad when it's put into like bad VHS. I feel like it's kind of the way it's meant to be seen. It covers up some of the more glaring issues with, I don't know, anything on camera really.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I could see like watching this super crisp where the colors are just popping
That is true. Yeah.
because it's a colorful movie.
Very colorful. Yeah.
And his hand beam wouldn't look like it's just a ketchup beam.
Maybe it still would. I'm not sure on that. I think that was just a red line that they just drew.
Okay, well let's get into the rundown of this.
The thick plot.
Got a banging theme though.
Oh yeah.
Even on the both versions, because we started watching one that wasn't which wasn't dubbed.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, maybe it's just gonna have subtitles, but they had different themes, but both of them still entertaining.
Mm-hmm. It's like we start off with like a van, and there's like a bunch of like school kids in the back, and they're all singing, and there's two adults in the front driving along on like this kind of mountainside road, having a great day, and then all of a sudden, some sort of dragon creature flies down from the sky, hits the ground, and then disappears. Just like disappears, and then the driver slams on the brakes just before the road collapses into a landslide. They get all the kids out of the van, thankfully, but the driver dude is still inside when it goes tumbling down. And then we cut to a big city where a gas station explodes.
The entire city is on fire.
And then yes, within the next cut, it is just the city up in flames, people running around on fire. There was that flaming dude that
Yeah,
just
just a
falls
flaming
from the
dude.
top of the screen. Yeah, pretty great, pretty great. Nice little set they made too of this city. The fire looked good, honestly. When the people were like running around in there, I'm like, oh, that kind of looks real.
Oh, it was.
I mean, it's definitely real fire, yeah. But like,
It looked dangerous.
it looked dangerous. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it didn't look safe, which is cool.
And, you know, they never. So it goes off to where we get Science Place, where this professor
Yeah,
guy shows up, and they never explain what this place is called. It's never said.
no,
I was trying to pay attention.
me too. Yeah, I was trying to pick up on that.
And these guys are definitely, they're very much like the Ultraman Science Patrol,
Mm-hmm.
but they are no Science
No,
Patrol.
no, no, no.
So I think maybe we should probably come up with a new name for them,
Mm.
like Science Squad.
Mm.
They're the Science Squad, because we're going to have to talk about them a lot.
We are. Yeah, I'm cool with Science Squad. I like that. Science Squad. They do have those pretty flashy outfits on too.
They do. They're very iridescent.
Yeah.
But this place is just basically like a giant satellite dish. So, hey, the satellite dish place was like, why don't you just you can film here,
Yeah. That's okay.
and it does make for a pretty cool location. Though.
It is. It's a cool
On the
backdrop
outside.
for the movie. Yeah.
And the inside is pretty cool too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like they got like the big control room with all the blinking lights everywhere and all like kind of analog sort of machinery mixed with that sort of futurism. And like they got the big console and stuff in the middle of the room that rotates.
That was cool.
That was super cool. Yeah. There's in ooh, which Godzilla movie is it? Oh, I can't get this wrong, can I?
No, you can't
Oh, I
because Pete's
cannot.
listening.
Oh my god. Oh, it's one of the Heisei movies. Ah, it's ooh. I think it's Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. I think in their big control room, the whole thing like rotates too. Super awesome. Why would you ever need that?
Because it looks cool.
Just because of yeah. That's
Maybe you've got a screen over here and another screen over there, and you can just rotate your whole workspace.
really don't want to turn your neck.
But anyways, yeah, so they got, I guess this part's a little dull, where they're just getting like computer reports in. You're just
Yeah.
watching something print.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently the dead volcano, Mount Demon, erupted and it was causing earthquakes and stuff.
Killed 10,000 people, by the way. Pretty horrific. Yippee. And this is when we get that call from Princess Dragon Mom, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because they're trying to figure out what's going on because the city caught fire or whatever. There's that volcano that erupted. Just things are going bad all over the globe. And then they get a little FaceTime call from the main villain of this story, Princess Dragon Mom. Great name, by the way. I love it, actually. I actually love it. Princess Dragon Mom.
Why isn't she Queen Dragon Mom?
Exactly. It's great. It makes no sense. She's the ruler. She should definitely be the queen. Does she have dragon kids? They don't get into it.
Doesn't matter.
There's barely even a dragon in this movie. But yeah, she basically calls in and she's just like, "Oh, I'm evil. I'm not from Earth. I'm evil. You all are gonna be my slaves. I'm evil."
I don't know. I'm kind of down for this. She was doing it for me.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, whoa, hang on a sec. I was
Slow down here.
hang on, movie.
You want me to be your what? Okay.
Hey, whatever. Well, that's pretty cool.
I suppose we should also talk about the professor
Yes,
because he is a very important character in this movie.
Professor Chang, but probably just call him Professor.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The professor is kind of the head of the science squad. He's just a very smart, sophisticated, well thought, well spoken man who's going to analyze this whole situation and react accordingly. I love this kind of character where it's like, I feel like it's from like the 50s through the 70s is when you got your scientist character, your physicist guy or whatever that like knows a ton, but also like everyone respects him a lot. And they just sit there and they're like, well, and then they just call the shots. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, a time when we respected science
Exactly. That's what
and
I'm trying to
admired it,
say.
and we are like, this is the best of us right here.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We should be smart.
Yeah.
We should turn to smart people when we have problems.
Yeah. This man who dedicated himself to knowledge, maybe we should listen to him.
What a time to be alive.
Right. But yeah, the professor is definitely one of these characters. He immediately, after the Dragon Mom call, he's like, all right, I need to learn everything we can about this Princess Dragon Mom. Analyze that video.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter where it comes up in this movie, but they do, like, he says that she's over 10 million years old and part of a race of other beings, like a superior to human race,
Yeah.
and that they also had monsters and mutants from before the Ice Age,
Right.
and that there were also humans as well.
Yeah.
Other like ancient humans that have like lived with these people underground.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Even though the letterbox says she's an alien, doesn't matter. She could have been an alien. Who knows?
They got monsters from before the Ice Age. Though.
Listen, I'm not gonna pick this movie for facts.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You don't watch this kind of movie and get picky on the details.
Yeah.
Then we also have back at the city that's still burning.
Yep.
There's a hero guy there who saves a doll because it just like it turns from a kid to a doll, and he like jumps off of like a burning porch or whatever or balcony.
Yeah.
Which that's pretty cool.
25-foot fall.
And he's just telling people like, hey, why instead of standing around, why don't you just get out of here? Then he gets on his motorcycle and leaves, and I was like, oh, that's the guy who's going to be Infra-Man, but it's not. He's just some other guy.
Yeah. Just having his Spider-Man moment.
Which I kind of made like this movie gets a little confusing, and just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interchangeable guys.
Yeah.
It's not just because they're Asian. It's because this movie is just like
there's one character that matters. It's Infra-Man.
You have the professor and Infra-Man. All that really matters.
Yeah.
Everybody else is there to just get in the trouble or fight.
Yeah, literally.
But then we get this whole Dragon Princess or Princess Dragon Mom. She releases her monsters, also called mutants, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I think they end up calling them monsters for most of this movie. Anyway, and you get to see the rogues gallery of these guys, and they come out and they're all like making their noises and stuff, and they all look pretty cool.
They're great.
Some fun designs in here, and everybody gets a moment to shine.
Yeah, yeah, they really all do.
They use each and every one of these. There's one that definitely looks like a lumpy hodag. For those people from Wisconsin who know what a hodag is, it's a fake creature.
It's a really dumb country festival.
Well, unfortunately, I feel bad for the hodag creature having to be associated with this country festival.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just kind of like a weird, spiky, all on fours lizard type monster, green. It was just some guy just made it up. And people actually thought it was real for a little bit because 1800s.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gone on to become the symbol of the city of Rhinelander.
Let's go Rhinelander. Shout out Rhinelander.
Hey Rhinelander, where you at? Oh, you're in Rhinelander. Okay.
Oh, never mind then.
Oh man, that's a weird place, man.
Yeah, you better keep your tootin' hodags back there in Rhinelander. I don't want none of them getting out here.
You know, in Rhinelander, because Wisconsin no longer lets people smoke in the bars.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So up in Rhinelander, they let you take your drink out on the sidewalk when you're at the bar. You can take your drink out on the sidewalk to smoke.
Hey, that's pretty nice there.
Yeah, a bunch of drunk people on the sidewalk. Not really a great idea to begin with, but then you let them take their drinks with them.
Even better.
What are you doing?
Even better. Last time I was up here in Rhinelander, Hodag came up and took our brat right out of my hand.
Oh
Screed off.
no.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I had the whole thing loaded with sauerkraut too. It was bad. It's bad.
Oh, then it was just nothing but Hodag shits everywhere.
Oh, everywhere.
Oh, upset with your little tummy, I bet.
This episode is about Infra-Man.
Yeah. Oh, there's also somebody else who's part of this ensemble that goes by the name of She Demon. It's another scantily clad woman, more scantily clad
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
than Princess Dragon Mom. And she's got crazy hands with eyeballs in the palms and big long nails.
Yeah, that was pretty sick. Some Pan's Labyrinth stuff going on there.
Yeah, definitely like second in command on this whole operation.
Yeah.
She doesn't really like get out of the lair proper.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we should talk about what's going on back at the science squad
Of course.
because the professor's like, hey, he's got just one random guy with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, hey, dude,
Come here.
I gotta let you in on this thing I've been working on. Let's go to my lab. It's like I'm making the Infra-Man,
Ultimate weapon.
the ultimate weapon, just in case something like this happened. He's so also he's like a weird conspiracy guy, perhaps,
Doomsday prepper.
who actually got it right.
Yeah, yeah.
99.99% of them will never get it right, but that's okay. This guy did, and thank goodness.
Thank God, yeah.
And it's really hard to tell like what Inframan is supposed to be. It's like a melding of man and machine.
Right. You become like a cyborg.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna cyborg someone and they're gonna be indestructible. It's gonna be awesome.
And before he even asked the guy, he was just like, can I do it? Let me be Inframan. Let me do it. And he's like, whoa. I mean, you might like die from this procedure. It's gonna be like really painful. And he's like, I'll do it. I don't know. Kind of signed up to that pretty quick without really thinking things through here.
Yeah, so they just the professor's like, okay, let's go.
Let's get started.
So they just start working on that, and who knows what's happening. It's a very visual process. You kind of have to just see it. But it's taking some time, obviously.
Yeah.
Not as much time as you think it would be to make an Inframan, but more time than they probably have currently because Princess Dragon Mom sends out the Hodag creature and just like the plant monster. I love the plant monster.
Love the plant monster.
Plant monster's fantastic.
Yeah.
Nothing like made out of tendrils.
All flopping around all the time.
Yeah. Weird and upsetting face on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, scary hollow face.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, none of these things are actually scary, but
Of course not.
it looks kind of scary. Like if you're a small child, it might freak you out a little bit.
Yeah, or if it was just like standing in front of my bed in the middle of the night. Yeah. Very scary.
That's just one of your roommates.
Yeah.
Bro, do you mind if I eat one of your burritos?
Can I have one of your Dr. Peppers? I'd probably be roommates with the plant monster.
I drew a picture of this and made some prints of it, but I don't know. I kind of want to redo these guys just for funsies.
You should. Not enough respect out there.
No. Oh, also, let's talk about, since we're on the subject, these guards that she has.
Uh-huh.
Some people would probably see them and go, "Oh, they look like from the guards from the one season of Mystery Science Theater 3000." They basically just riffed off this idea. Not saying ripped it off, but they definitely were heavily influenced by the design of these guys. They look so cool. I want one of these costumes so bad.
Yeah, they look so rad.
Black motorcycle helmet with a skull inside it and horns. And then they've got like this black spandex bodysuit, but then they have like a weird non-symmetrical skeletal rib cage armor and like black gloves and boots. And they carry around these like weird staffs with like big giant ball at the end and a spike. These guys are cool.
Perfect.
And
Yeah.
there's tons of them.
So many.
Just
so
keep coming.
many.
Like there's just tons of these guys.
They're just getting all wiped out.
they're just fodder.
Yeah, definitely.
But
They're so cool.
They look cool though.
Oh,
They
they
really
look so
do.
cool.
But yeah, let's move on to when the plant monster gets to this science squad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it pulls up and it finds a nice little spot on the base and like goes underground, which is a pretty fun effect. Just like a reverse shot of it like busting out of the ground. They just played it backwards, so it looks like it's like seeping into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just spreads its roots all over, starts attacking everybody like Little Shop of Horrors. Big tentacle, big viney tentacle.
Yeah, and the Hode guy for some reason went off, and there was just a science squad guy driving a
Yeah.
Volkswagen Bug, and he just attacks him and kidnaps him.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was like, oh, okay, like why just the lone guy? He's just poor guy's just going to work.
Right.
What's an emergency? I got to get my silvery jumpsuit on. But that's for a reason, though, I guess. But yeah, this whole tendril attack, like, it's played like fairly straight.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem as wacky as it should be, even though it looks kind of wacky. But they're shooting at it and like just trying, like they're just getting their butts handed to them.
Yeah, this is a pretty great like tentacle attack scene. Honestly, guys are getting like thrown around, tossed around, slammed. It's pretty great. I love when the one guy's like in the grip of the vine and the door busts open and there's just more what are we calling them,
Science squad.
science dudes just on the other side, and they like run up with the big saw, like cut them loose.
Oh yeah, the guy just busts out the circular saw and just
Yeah.
starts cutting a vine.
Yeah, it was so awesome. This is a really fun scene.
It's chaotic, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And their poor command center just gets trashed too in the process. But also, how cool is it too that you can go, you know what, I want to do science, and I'm gonna do some good for the world, and I'm gonna go work for Science Squad. But then also, you get trained in kung fu,
Yeah.
and also get to carry a gun all the time.
Yeah. Just for like working at this like little radar station or whatever it is, big telescope, radio telescope. That's my favorite. Welcome to your job at the radio telescope tower. You have your martial arts training, and then you have to get your gun certification, and just ignore the professor. He's working on a super weapon downstairs.
That's a good point though, because will Infra-Man be done cooking in time?
Mm-hmm.
He is, and it's weird as hell.
Yeah.
It's lots of just what is happening here. Just like the effect to show he's now full of robot.
I don't know
just
what it
cuts
was.
away to illustrations over his body.
Yeah, it's
Like look
these,
at his legs. Whap, 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 whap.
like flashing 2D art.
It's weird.
It's weird.
I like it though.
It's
I'm
weird.
all for it.
Yeah, me too. I still like it.
This little lab down there looks pretty cool though. It's got
Yeah.
some really neat stuff.
Yeah. I like the like kind of schematic they have of Infra-Man in like all red. Like the different lights blinking on it and stuff. That looked super cool. Or even just the like thing that dude had to lay down on for the procedure. That looked cool.
Yeah, whenever I watch this, it always makes me think of Mega Man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes
There's
sense.
a very Mega Man vibe to this.
Yeah, I see that.
Or Mega Man has a very Inframan vibe to it. But then also, like, when Inframan shows up and just starts doing work on the vines, there's just all of a sudden, like, bystanders there and they know who he is, which is weird.
That was like the professor's daughter, I think.
Yeah. And then also, like, younger brother and sister or something. I don't know. It's all really confusing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't get that whole thing. I know that was like dude's daughter, but like
I think they just needed some kids or something at the time. And they're like, we need some extra characters now to like just put in peril. and to do things to make story happen. Infra-Man just fights the planet monster and wins with sparklers and his ketchup beam.
Mm-hmm. I do like the bit where he like uses his X-ray vision and finds the heart of the creature, goes after it.
Yeah, I mean, we can't. The power set of Infra-Man is outrageous.
Yeah. I mean,
Basically, whatever he needs to do, he can do it.
does he fly? Yeah, he flies. He can fly. Shoots a specium beam, like an Ultraman beam, but it's red and thin. Just a little line of ketchup.
Sometimes it's squiggly, sometimes it's not.
Yeah. He also has oh, they had the name for it. His like upgrade power that he kind of gets later too.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that in
Yeah.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of funny how all that works out.
Yeah.
Yeah, brainwash guy.
Oh right, yeah.
Because the guy that the bad guys kidnapped just gets brainwashed, and this does not seem pleasant at all.
No. No, it kind of reminds me of that scene in the Dark Crystal where they're stealing the energy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because she demon's in charge of this operation, and then apparently to like finish the job of brainwashing someone, you got to shoot weird green beams out of your hand eyes.
I don't know how it works. I'm not a trained professional.
I didn't go to.
Yeah, I didn't go to school for this.
I didn't get a degree in hand eye beam. It's pretty fun though. I remember that's one of the shots I saw that convinced me to watch this movie for the first time because I was like, "Look at that! What is happening?
What is even happening?
I need to know."
You still don't even know what's happening when you watch the movie.
No, but it just makes his eyes turn green sometimes, and it's so you know. I mean, that's how would we know if somebody's been taken over by an outside force or brainwashed if they didn't have weird eyes once in a while?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I just talked to somebody. Now that I'm done talking to them, I better get my weird eyes going.
Yeah, this person just left the room. Time to let out my monster eyes.
I just can't help it.
It's also a great tease at the end of an episode as your cliffhanger. Oh, they're a monster now?
The end of the movie. Oh, wait, now they're the monster.
Their eyes are red.
You know, that's what's great about the thing.
What, that they actually have to figure it out?
Yeah, there's no like.
No, but that's so lame because then as the audience, how am I supposed to know who the monster is?
Listen, I'm not going to say I was intentionally looking at my coworker's penis while we were both going to the bathroom, but it definitely didn't look human. I'm pretty sure he's the thing.
That teeth? Try to bite me. I don't think that's normal.
Yeah, but anyways, that guy goes back to the science squad station. And everybody just right away is like, something ain't right with this guy.
Yeah, he
don't
shows
look
up.
good.
He shows up like he had like 1 hour's sleep. He showed up like the new Call of Duty game came out. I'm Master Prestige. All I've done is play in the past 3 days. He has those eyes.
But then they just kind of let him do whatever.
They're like, he's acting weird. Anyway.
We should do something about that, but not right now. And that's how he can like, I have in my notes, he eyes a guard to sleep.
Yeah.
He just has glowing green eyes and it makes this guy, like I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
But it turns out he's not. In the best possible way. Because the brainwash guy is like stealing something from a safe.
Yeah, he's taking pictures of the Infra-Man blueprints.
And he gets busted doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And like, because the motorcycle hero guy from earlier is the one who like kind of comes in and he's like, hey, what the heck is going on? I think it's him. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyways, he finds the guard guy who's just sleeping apparently. And he's like, oh my gosh, what happened? But he just raises an arm and he's like, oh, he went that way or something.
It just points. Raises his hand, like laying flat on his back. Like you have to imagine, he's just flat on his back, unconscious apparently. And then dude just comes up, hey, what happened? Oh, it was him. He went that way.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
But then they get into a motorcycle chase
Mm-hmm.
because he's trying to get away with the plans, and the other guy's like, I don't think so. And then it's just like a weird, awkward fight and stuff. Like they trash the cycles and then just roll down a hill together.
Yeah, that part was weird.
But then we get another monster.
Yay! It's like this weird, like kind of fly monster. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like big, fat, and red.
Bug.
Bug. Yeah, bug.
Got 3 bug eyes.
Mm-hmm. I loved the American dub actor for this guy.
You normally don't get this kind of enthusiasm,
Yeah, yeah,
and this guy was bringing it.
yeah. He really sold me on it. I was like, I think this thing's real. I think they actually found this creature.
Ma, guess what? I just nailed the best role ever. I get to voice a bug monster. Not a lot of talking bug monster jobs out there, but I got it.
Anyway, so your sister got back from school the other day, and she was saying that she's gonna be a valedictorian. Isn't that great?
But Mom, I get to be a bug monster.
That's great, sweetheart. Will you pass the Bailey from over there?
I will destroy you.
That's how he brought all that energy. He was just mad at his mom.
He's like that weird guy on Andor, only just more motivated and just not a giant creep.
Yeah, yeah.
If you don't get that reference, go watch Andor.
Please watch Andor.
It's actually it's kind of peak Star Wars.
The best Star Wars since The Empire Strikes Back.
It's a bold statement.
Bold statement. I'll live by it.
You might not be wrong. Just oh yeah, Science Squad and Infra-Man just fight a bunch of guards and the bug monster guy.
This fight scene's pretty fun, pretty cool, of course. Like, I mean, all of them are. That kind of goes without saying.
A weird hairy devil monster shows up
Yeah.
and just goes beam wild on Infra-Man.
Yeah.
It basically looks like, imagine if a guy's head was just long gray hair, but he was dressed as the devil, like red pajamas.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
That's all he looks like.
Scary.
Like the
Weird.
butt flap underwear pajamas. That's just what it looks like.
And he would like shoot lasers out of his horns.
And then you just, I don't know. I don't recall what happened to him. I might have been taking notes at the time. Does he get destroyed?
Yeah, so
Or does he just disappear?
they fight, obviously. He gets Inframan in the water, starts shooting some beams in the water, and then he ends up in the water and he gets some beams shot at him. But ultimately, Inframan shoots some ketchup at him and he dies. Yeah, that was a really fun monster. And then the fly monster, the big bug monster, turns ginormous, turns kaiju sized, which was pretty fun. Pretty cool effect too. I'm not really quite sure how they did that.
I'm wondering if that was an in-camera effect. Like they just did it on the spot. Like they took a person and had them like far away and then pulled them forward
Yeah.
because it didn't really look like a normal enlarging effect because there wasn't like any type of like blue screen or anything happening. It
Yeah.
didn't really look
Not
like
that you
it.
could tell.
It might have just been all forced perspective.
Yeah, or they just put like a plate or something over. So I think there was like something in the foreground that might have been in front, if I remember.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, but it was a pretty quick little shot, but it was kind of seamless, honestly.
Yeah, and Inframan just goes off and does the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, who knew? He had mass shifting too.
Yeah, he tries to fight him small for a little bit, then he's like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I'm Inframan. I can do anything."
Whatever the story needs me to do.
Exactly.
I'm there.
Yeah. Yeah, then we get a fun little kaiju fight. Some kaiju action. Loved that. Loved that. Yeah, they did a good job with that too. I mean, you have to shoot that differently than you do like other fight scenes.
Yeah, then Bug Guy gets tossed into like a little power station or something and
That's it.
just shrinks him down. So there's only one thing to do.
Squash him.
No mercy from
None.
Inframan.
None. I like the splatter too. Ugh.
Oh, we haven't even talked about what Infra-Man looks like.
That's true.
We haven't. I don't know how we just missed that. I don't know why I just thought of it now. Well, anyways, it's a very 1975 outfit. He looks like he could be part of one of the best funk bands you've ever seen
Mm-hmm.
from the 70s, back when they were doing all that dressing up like spacemen and stuff. It's very just red and silver. Kind of looks like a Power Ranger.
Yeah, kind of got that same vibe.
Yeah, just a helmet.
Fake mouth.
Because I mean, they were like influenced by Kamen Rider.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can definitely feel the Kamen Rider in this too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, like big old like shoulder things happening. It looks very 70s spaceman.
Giant blue eyes.
Mm-hmm. Just all red and silver.
Yeah, I like the design.
I do
Very
too.
classic tokusatsu hero right there.
Yeah, bug all over the heel of that boot.
Now
Got
just
some-
imagine.
Got some heels on those boots too.
Oh yeah, that was one juicy boy.
Well, yeah. So yeah, the whole thing with the blueprints that Princess Dragon mom has now, she's like, oh, he's got a weak point in his hands. We're gonna exploit it. And it's like, oh no, Infra-Man.
Infra-Man, protect your hands.
No. Then we get more of like that, the whole family thing, whatever. There's like a little girl, teenage boy, and older woman.
Older sister.
Ish. Older-ish. I mean, well, apparently she's what, 15, which, okay, sure, whatever. I've accepted plenty of 30-year-olds who are supposed to be in high school.
Yeah, she's like 24, but whatevs. Yeah, and they're just like walking around. They're having a good day, I guess.
I want to be Infra Girl.
Yeah. Oh, silly, women can't be superheroes.
No.
I don't mean that. I don't mean that.
Kind of told that though.
Yeah, yeah. Like, oh, sweetheart, what a stupid dream. You could never become Infra Girl.
But they also like just know way too much about Inframan. So I guess that makes sense if they were his kids.
It's
professor's
definitely the
kids.
professor's kids. At least the oldest one is. That's
But-
definitely his daughter.
Then they kind of like, she kind of like drops the thing about the guy who turns into Inframan being the uncle. But sometimes like, is that like actual uncle or just
Right.
uncle? Like, yeah,
It's
that's
just a
your
fun little
uncle. Yeah.
nickname. Yeah.
And we talked about that way too long because it doesn't matter.
Nope.
Because like the brother's like, hey, why is there a cave here? Should I go crawl in this cave?
No. Does anyway.
Yeah. What does he find there, Brennan?
He finds, of course, the Hodag monster? Yeah. Yeah, because he accidentally stumbles onto like the secret lair.
And also the brainwashed guy's there too. It's got
Uh-huh.
like a whole bunch of dynamite, bunch of TNT.
And then outside the cave, the little girl talks to, like, the older sister, the older woman.
Mom,
And
what? Question?
Yeah, and is like, oh, he went into the cave. He go mad. So then, of course,
that was very illegible.
thank you. So then the older the daughter of the professor, we'll say that's for sure. I think
I think.
she goes into, and of course she gets captured right away.
I like how they tied them both up.
Yeah,
And just put gags in their mouths.
yeah.
They didn't just murder them.
No, they're like, yeah, we're gonna blow you up, because they like set up all that TNT.
Yeah, and you know what? For a monster that's been underground, at least since the Ice Age, his species anyway,
Right.
really knows a lot about dynamite for some reason.
What do you think they've been doing all these years? It's like hibernating? No, they're just reading.
So it turns out I'm just a really big fan of dynamite.
It's a very delicate process.
This stuff is great.
It's somewhat of an art form, I'd say.
You know, I've always just really wanted to just tie a couple people up, have a big pile of dynamite explode right by them.
Just cackle while I watch them explode from a distance. Sounds like a nice Sunday evening.
But they go do that, though. They go wait outside to watch.
Yeah.
course, Infra-Man shows up.
Right, because the little girl was like,
Yeah.
they went into the cave.
It's like, what? There wasn't a cave
All
here
I picked up
before.
was cave. Where is that?
But yeah, he turns into Infra-Man, grabs the dynamite because it's almost ready to explode,
Hmm.
and just flies through the ground into the air and just chucks it.
Yeah, he eats it. Works. That works.
Yeah.
Good job,
Yeah.
Inframan.
Good job, Christopher Nolan, stealing that. Hack.
I don't care about no stupid autopilot.
But then it's a good thing because Thunderball fists are complete. An upgrade for Inframan.
Total video game upgrade too.
Yeah. He just now has cool black gloves. And there's something about like it has cool blades. And it just like it has like a half circle, just kind of like can like chink come out of it.
Yeah, this little blade thingy. It's a projectile. He has a new thing to kill bad guys with.
Yeah, they don't explain that though. They just say that it's like, oh, it's got cool blades in it. And this is where the break in the action comes because the professor and his daughter just have a chat. And it's like, I don't know. It lasts about as long as we just talked about it.
Yep.
And then he's like, well, I got more work to do. Bye.
Yeah, the Hodag monster just busts in and is like, haha, I'm gonna steal your daughter.
And then Science Squad plans an attack on Mount Demon. Princess Dragon Mom sends a video call to the professor and demands that he surrenders or his daughter will die. And so he does. And this is probably my favorite scene in the movie where they're just on a boat. It is the professor, some guards, and the Hodag monster just on a boat that has been decorated to have a dragon on it. Because that's the first thing you do. Start an attack on all of human civilization, but get human boat, customize it, make it themed.
Maybe that was the Hodag monster. He's like, I finally saved up enough money. Guys, I'm gonna get a boat. And they're like, yeah.
This boat is sweet, man. It's gonna get me so many chicks. Yeah, but it's just like it's the somber moment.
Yeah,
But it's the ridiculousness of just seeing the three of them at the helm of this
no
boat.
music. No one's talking. It's nothing but them in the ocean, open ocean out there.
And once they get to Mount Demon, Princess Dragon Mom is just like, I'm going to show you that I am not messing around because you're going to do what I say. And if you don't, this is going to happen to you. And she like laser lassos the brainwashed guy, and a panel on the floor opens up, and he just gets tossed into this super long tunnel down to lava.
Bottomless pit, it was described as.
But there's definitely lava at the bottom.
Right, so none of it makes any sense. Also, when Princess Dragon Mom lifted up the brainwashed guy with the laser whip, that looked really clean. The tracking and everything on it, I don't know. Something about the special effects in this movie, sometimes they just, I don't know. I
It
feel
was probably the wire work, which helped a lot.
yeah, definitely, because, I don't know, I haven't really, again, it's not like Marvel I'm not going to use Marvel as an example of good quality special effects. Eeh. But it's not like modern movie quality, but it still looks like really good for the time.
I mean, considering it couldn't have, they didn't have a lot of the technology that we did in the States, and their budget probably wasn't that great.
Plus, this was also their first superhero movie. Imagine that.
But a lot of wire work. I don't know. I've watched a lot of kung fu movies out of like China and stuff when I was younger. And yeah, I mean, the wire work, like that's really wasn't a thing here until, say, The Matrix. That's when we started bringing that into Western movies. But before that, I mean, nothing beats like a great shot of like a guy jumping from ground level up onto somebody's shoulders in a tree.
Yeah.
And just the smoothness of it,
Yeah.
whether they reverse the shot or not. it just there's just something really magical about it that I love.
It's like they float.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool. I loved the use of the wires and the acolyte. That was really great. A lot of those fight scenes, they just throw in a little bit of wire work, a little force hop or something. I think it just looks so fun. Even when you can tell it's wire, I don't care.
I don't care either because there's the floatiness of it just like I said, is magical.
Mhm.
It's just so enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually the Shaw brothers made a whole lot of like crazy kung fu movies
Okay.
like that you should check out for sure.
Okay.
They used to be shown quite a bit on El Rey channel
Mm. Oh, yeah, I know that
because
channel.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Robert Rodriguez started that. He was a big fan,
Oh.
so they would show him on there a lot, and that was like it was so good to see some of them again.
Mm.
And then a lot of times I was like, wow, this is like unnecessarily rapey.
Uh,
So there's also that kind of element to them too
yeah.
sometimes. But good stuff. You should check it out. Like fun, wild colors,
Yeah.
lots of good weapon stuff in it.
Okay. All right. Interested. I'm very interested.
Hmm. Definitely very stylistic in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
Check it out.
okay. Yeah, I need to check that out.
Not a big enough fan to really know any of the titles. So I'm just gonna say that. But I definitely be like, oh well, this is on. I'll just keep this on.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, Infra-Man shows up to Mount Demon and just starts fighting goons in his human form.
Yeah, I love that. Don't
Wh-
need no Inframan.
He's like, oh, these guys.
Yeah, like those skeleton guys, they're nothing.
It just shows, like, I mean, I guess technically he still is kind of Inframan.
Yeah.
I mean, they changed his bones. He's got robot bones. But then, yeah, you get like, then out of nowhere, like the Hode guy comes in and Science Squad, all hell's breaking loose. And Science Squad decides to start using those guns a little bit
Yeah. Yeah.
and like start shooting those goons. And man, they like explode.
Yeah, they just go flying.
They just have like all sorts of just pyrotechnics built into their suits.
Yeah.
It looks kind of painful.
Yeah, no squibs. No squibs here. Just little firecrackers or whatever they're putting in there. It's crazy.
Also, their staffs explode a lot too, like make
Yeah.
little explosions,
Yeah, I
which is
noticed
pretty
that.
fun.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, pretty much like from this point on, it's nothing but fighting.
yeah. Mhm.
All of this is.
Yeah, just imagine like right now in the movie, it's just Inframan just
And just endless amounts of goons.
yeah.
But like he runs off a little bit to get further up the mountain because that part of the video game is done. That's when he comes across like this Dragon Man and the Hode guy, and the Dragon Man's pretty cool looking
Yeah.
because he's been like in the background quite a bit, just kind of constantly moving.
Mhm.
He's just itching for a fight, I bet. But he's like shoots fire out of his mouth,
Uh-huh.
which is pretty wild.
Crazy distance on it too.
Oh yeah, it's like they use a straight up flamethrower in this movie.
Yeah.
It looks dangerous as hell.
Uh-huh.
Just saying.
All of this is dangerous.
But Princess Dragon Mom goes, well, we'll release some black clouds. It'll block out the sun because that's where Inframan gets all his power from.
Hmm.
I think she's wrong on that.
Yeah, they did
Because-
say earlier in the movie that it was a mini nuclear reactor powering him, but whatever.
But it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it also doesn't matter.
It really does not matter.
Yeah. Only like they like show the sun being covered and everything and they show the sun being covered, Inframan kind of noticing it and then just never gets brought up again.
No, it doesn't even seem to weaken him one bit.
Yeah. Weird choice. Maybe if she was fighting Ultraman or Ultra 7, I guess, takes his power from the sun. But yeah, that's kind of weird little plot hole in that movie of like can't say he has a nuclear reactor and then just backpedal that.
But then also at the same time, like he'd probably be like, yeah, I store it like a battery, dingus.
Yeah.
Just like, like a Superman. He's just a solar battery.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, he's going to be powered for a while.
You think he would just fly into the sun like every time he had to fight someone kind of strong?
Better juice up.
Yeah.
That's just why I just pump myself full of cocaine and steroids.
Yeah. What do you think we were doing before this show?
I picked up a bus.
Corrupted youth, more like sniffly noses.
No, drugs are bad.
Drugs are terrible,
Don't do drugs, dongles.
unless your doctors tell you to do them.
We're going down a weird path here.
Yeah.
Let's steer the ship back on
Steer this boat.
course. Steer our dragon boat back
Yeah,
on.
dragon boat.
Yeah. But yeah, like the other fight ends up catching up to this fight.
Mm-hmm.
Because like they just keep moving.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just like all these guys just fighting around them. It's pretty fun. But then the dragon guy gets like knocked down and then he just vanishes. And Infra-Man, I guess, goes, don't think he died that easy, right? And just uses his convenient power to just search for invisible things and finds him just hanging out somewhere.
Just standing there.
And then he like jumps at him and he has sparklers on his boots that when he kicks the dragon guy, it just makes him disintegrate.
Wasn't that the Hodag he does that to?
Yeah, I thought he did it to both of them.
Oh, he does do it to both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just has these like
Gun feet.
he just like jumps at him feet first and there's sparklers on his boots. And that's
Yeah.
enough to kill him.
It is pretty sick. I do love the whatever is happening there. I'm a big fan. It makes that cool sound effect every time he jumps. And there's a couple times where he would just like spread his legs out kind of to like hit multiple people. Like, it's just silly. Silly fun. It was like a gun foot tricycle kick thing.
It's wild. I'll say that. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but I'm there for it.
I don't want it to make sense.
The less sense it makes, the better I think it is.
Yeah. Stop making sense.
So he finally makes his way inside the lair and just instantly gets caught with that whip effect and chucked into the pit. And
Right
she's
away.
just like, well,
Nope.
that's it. But he catches himself on the way down. And it takes him a little while to crawl back up, I guess.
Yeah.
Just so more things can happen. Because Princess Dragon Mom's like, well, now that we just destroyed him, you got to make me a new one.
Mm-hmm.
But make one that obeys me.
Yeah. She wants an army of Infra-Men.
Even though now that Infra-Man's gone, there's no stopping her. I mean,
Well, even
right?
then, she doesn't even seem like too worried about it.
for,
Like
I mean,
getting
for
the
all
army.
intents and purposes, like she
Just won.
She just won.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's why when like she's like, "Hey, professor, will you like make me an army of those guys?" And he's like, "No, I would never." She's just like, "Okay, well, I'll just freeze you, just put you in a little ice cube, and just wait until you're ready."
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
What did she call it? The freezer burn?
yeah. So clearly, she's not concerned about anything anymore. Like, oh, you won't make me the army? Whatever. You will eventually. I mean, yeah, because there is nothing else on Earth that can stop her at this point.
Yeah, but then there's this like more fighting goons, but then She Demon gets some action into.
Yeah,
And it gets pretty wild.
yeah.
Like a lot of this is just like I just didn't even have any type of notes on this. It just gets weird in a great way.
Tons of goons too.
Lots of just like guys falling in water and exploding, and
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know if that's supposed to be a pit of acid. Who knows?
yeah. I don't know.
It's pretty fun though.
The explosion pit, whatever it is.
Hand-eye beams happening, you name it.
Yeah, she gets a hand cut off,
Oh yeah, that's right.
like blasted off, or whatever happened there.
Then we get the spiky fist bro robots,
Mm-hmm.
where they're kind of like mirror images of each other, but they're like, I don't know if they're robots. They can like throw out this like spiked ball and from their arm.
And it's like a weird slinky.
Yeah. And then they can do the same with their heads.
Yeah,
Super weird.
very, very weird.
All of this is just really weird.
So here for it though. Like,
Oh, I loved it.
love it.
It's probably one of my favorite monster fights because it's very different and it's not just them punching each other.
Yeah, yeah. I like when Inframan would like grab their little mace end or whatever and start like coiling up their spring. They looked cool too. The black and the red.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, super fun design on these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Princess Dragon Mom shows up with her goons, and she demands that Infra-Man surrenders and just joins her. Like, just fight for me.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not the best idea because he just is not gonna do it.
Yeah, what?
He doesn't even say anything.
Mhm.
He's not even like, no, he just keeps fighting. But then she freezes him in the freezer burn, which looked pretty cool too.
It looked super cool, honestly.
Because it just looked like ice version of him.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like moving around and stuff.
Yeah. All slow.
All frosty.
And he had that blinking red light on his forehead.
Mm-hmm. And then he had like the vision of the professor. Like, so if you ever happen to get frozen, just remember you can unfreeze yourself with 5 missiles.
5 missiles. He did the math on that one.
Which all his missiles ever do is like, I don't even really bring them up because he just sets them on the ground and they just sparkle.
Yeah, they're like little fireworks.
They don't launch.
Yeah.
They're just sparklers. Which, hey, he looks fantastic. And he just dissolves himself, which that was a cool effect too.
Yeah, it was.
Melts all the ice off, fights more, grows again. Then there's the weird fight, the final battle with Princess Dragon Mom, who can turn into like a dragon
Mm-hmm.
monster. And yeah, he just used his Thunderball fist because apparently they just shoot little blades out.
Yeah.
And explain this, Brennan.
Yeah. So Inframan is standing in front of the big bad, um, scary dragon monster. He shoots one of the little blade thingies out, and it cuts off the head of Princess Dragon Mom. Great. You even see the head land on the ground, but then the head just reappears on the body. Not that it like disappeared off the ground, but just like kind of just made a new one, like just got a new head. And then Inframan's just like, okay, and then cuts off Princess Dragon Mom's head again. It grows back. He cuts it off again. It grows back. He cuts it off again. And by this time they keep cutting back, there's just more heads on the ground.
Just a pile of heads.
Yeah. Until finally he's just like, oh well, I guess this isn't working. And then he uses his Thunderball fist and she explodes very gloriously. But man, just wouldn't stop trying that one.
It's hilarious.
And at first I was like, oh, are they just like replaying the footage because they want to like pad out the time or whatever? No, there's multiple heads on the ground. They planned that. Like they that was intentional. It's just a really weird, goofy little scene to kind of close off the action of the movie. But yeah, that last little explosion was pretty nice.
Yeah. We did fail to mention though that this entire place is also blowing up
Mm-hmm.
because he smashed the control panels and
Right.
stuff earlier after his fight with She Demon.
Because that makes the place explode.
But it doesn't matter because he just rescues everybody
Yeah.
and they just escape. And even all the science squad, everybody just gets on a different boat. There's just a different boat and they all get on it and they start just boating away. And then the weirdest thing happens right at the end. That little girl was on that boat. That little girl's just there.
Hey guys.
Like
was fun.
They brought a child to this Mount Demon
Yeah.
in the middle of nowhere
Yeah.
and just left her on the boat.
Well, I know it's a Tuesday and you got class, but you want to go to Mount Demon? Yay!
That's the end.
That's Infra-Man.
So yeah, we like this movie.
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
no hiding it.
If you knew anything about us and if you knew anything about this movie, you could have already safely assumed that we were gonna like it.
Yeah, that's like if you happen to just come across this movie, you'd go like, yeah, those guys probably like this kind of junk.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
It really is. It's a total cult classic. And it's just such an interesting movie, too, being a Chinese tokusatsu. It's the first superhero movie. It's a big, weird mesh of martial arts and tokusatsu. I mean, those two are heavily related, as is, but
Sure, but like this is I feel that the martial arts in this is better than some of the other stuff
yeah.
I've seen.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Yeah,
And they're very prolonged fights, and there's a lot of people fighting all at once.
definitely. Yeah, I mean, I imagine there's so many crazy stories from the set of this movie. Like, you could fill a book with the production of this movie, I'm sure. Trying to organize all that, all those fight scenes, all those pyrotechnics and wire work, and doing all of that at the same time.
Yeah, just us talking about it doesn't do it much justice.
Yeah.
And you got to keep in mind this is also 1975
Mm-hmm.
and limited with what they could do, and I think they pull it off. This movie is just full of charm, and
Yeah. Oh, so much.
it doesn't it it for an hour and a half it goes by quick because it's almost all fighting.
Mm-hmm.
This is the movie everybody complains that they want to see.
Yeah, this is what general audiences ask for.
Just enough story to get you going. It doesn't need to make a whole lot of sense. There's one tender moment where the doctor or the professor talks to his daughter, and it's done. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. We're back. Something's always happening.
Yeah.
If it seems like, oh, this might be getting kind of slow, yeah, it's because they got to introduce this kid to have him crawl in a cave quick.
Kind of reminded me of like that Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, where it's just like, yeah, we're not even gonna worry about the human stuff anymore.
Yeah,
We know why you're here. We know what you want to see, and we're gonna give it all to you.
yeah. Here's some weird super science for fun because
Mm-hmm.
it just makes things more interesting.
Yep.
Just do it.
Now look at the big monsters. Look at big monsters smack each other, or look at Infra-Man
Watch him fight.
zip around on some wires, shoot his gun feet at people.
Make weird sound effects for everything he does.
Super cool sound effects for everything he does. You mean?
Yeah, there's some pretty fun ones.
Yeah. I love the constant reuse of the swoosh and the smack sound effects.
There's some really good goofy cartoon sound effects too.
Yeah.
Like just like I don't know, is that a slide whistle for somebody
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
thrown?
They did sneak one in there.
But it I was like, sure, it would make that noise.
Yeah.
That's exactly how that would sound.
Yeah. I'm not
Why
arguing.
wouldn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, man, I'd say this is ripe for a like a reboot
Yeah.
or just make a sequel to it. No explanation.
Oh, a sequel.
Legacy.
That would be great. Yeah. Oh, that'd be so great.
Yeah, so that's all I got to say about it other than rating and recommendation. Brennan, saying the word movie, how would you rate Inframan and would you recommend it?
Oh, this is a movie. This is a movie. This is a great movie. This is an awesome movie. Do I recommend it? Absolutely, I recommend it. It's on YouTube. You can literally watch it for free. It's an hour and a half. It has almost nothing but action. It's crazy. It's goofy. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cheer. It'll make you. It might even make you cry. Might even make you cry. I don't know. These human characters, you can find yourself getting really invested in these human characters.
There's such blank slates, you can project anything you want onto them.
Like professor and daughter. But yeah, no, I really do recommend this movie. Uh, it's just everything you ever want. It's everything you've ever needed. It's like having the most perfect bite of the most perfect burger and filling your little tummy up perfectly. When you're perfectly full, go home and you take a perfect 9 hours sleep. You wake up well rested. Then you do it all over again. That right there, that's Inframan. That's what Inframan is to me. That got really cheesy.
I loved it. Good job.
Got really passionate there. Got really passionate. No, but I do really like this movie. What about you?
This is a movie
Yeah,
for sure.
I like the little sing on that. That was nice.
That's as Broadway as I get.
Yeah.
No, this movie is so much fun. I love it. It's just yeah. I recommend it because this movie is your after work beer.
Mm.
When you have put in a hard day and you know, you're hot, you're sweaty, you're tired, and you go, you know what, I could go for just an ice cold beer.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted.
That's the best beer, is a beer after you get done working or doing yard work or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. It's fantastic.
Hits that spot.
Hmm.
So you recommend it?
Oh, yeah, I said I did.
Go watch it on YouTube.
You know, honestly, I thought that when we were going to do the recommendations, that initially before watching it again, I had that moment of like, well, I'm probably just going to recommend this for people who are into this sort of thing. Nah,
Yeah, no.
no. Just put it on. Watch it with some friends.
Absolutely.
Watch it with some friends. Yuck it up. Have fun with it.
Laugh at it. Laugh
you,
with it.
You don't have to listen to pretty much anything that they're saying. It really doesn't matter. It makes less sense the more you listen to it.
I think the only time that I would stop talking is when Princess Dragon Mom cracks that whip. I'd shut up real fast.
Well, okay. Well, that's enough about that.
Moving on.
This
Segue.
Anyways, family show. All right, so Shay, you know what you do? Get yourself a t-shirt from our TeePublic store. We got some cool stuff there. Who knows? Maybe I'll make some knockoff Infra-Man something.
Please.
Write in. Let me know if you want that. I'll make it happen. Other than that, enjoy the Dongle Den on Facebook while you can, because it's more likely going to go away and sometime in the near future. So keep that in mind. Sorry, Dongles. I know it's pretty fun, but not going to contribute to that anymore.
Slow sinking ship.
Yeah. I'll just post art stuff there for the general public. And other than that, I'm going to be donezo with it. I'm on Blue Sky. You can find me on there. That'll probably be my only social media then that I actually like am a human being on and might actually post things about my actual life.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be a weird, dark secret.
Ooh. Okay.
No, you just got to hang out with me in person. But I would like to still remain connected to a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely.
And probably a lot of the people that I care about in the podcasting realm are on there. So,
well, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Dongles. I left Facebook a long time ago. Anyone below the age of like 24 does not use Facebook anymore.
I'm pretty much there for self promotion for art and podcast. That's about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then I go on a rant every once in a while.
Nice.
Or like maybe I feel a little fun, and I'll post a funny thing.
Post some memes.
But I'm just tired of being just grumpy with the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Well,
if you
with
don't want to
that-
be grumpy with the world, then just go watch Infra-Man on YouTube. It's free, guys.
Yeah. You know who I'm not grumpy with?
Who?
The Dongles, our listeners.
Oh, that's you guys
Yeah.
out there listening right now.
Yeah, you guys are great.
You guys are okay, I guess.
Keep on listening. And also a big thank you to our fellow podcasters for all your support.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, and with that, hang in there, Dongles.
Hang in there.
Corrupted youth! Corrupted youth! Corrupted youth! Corrupted youth!
Oh, then it was just nothing but hodag shits everywhere.
Anyway, so your sister got back from school the other day, and she was saying that she's gonna be a valedictorian. Isn't that great?